Hi, I'm Laura Melton, and
I'm Aline LaPierre.
we're here to introduce you to Nurture to Heal comfort pillows, which were developed in conjunction with their NeuroAffective Touch training. We have the long, we have the round, and the heart, and the mini.
We use the pillows to help clients get in touch with areas of their bodies to which they may be numb or where they may have constrictions and not know how to let go and how to support themselves or how to reconnect with parts of themselves. There are a number of ways to use each pillow on the body. So the long, we can use sideways, any place where you want to have the sense of connecting laterally.
You can also ask your client to put it vertically, and they would hold that. Well, they also have the one here, and one along right there.
This is helpful when there's a lot of constriction in the internal organs, and somebody isn't in touch with their midline and their sense of self, which accompanies being in touch with the midline. And if the pillow is heated, it will bring together a connection between the belly, the heart, and the high heart and throat center, which actually are the stations of the polyvagal nerve.
Mm-hmm. Often people have tension holding up their head, and it translates into tension into the neck and shoulders. Another way we can use the long is across the shoulders. I'll demonstrate on Aline. Now remember, the pillow is warm and it has a weight to it. Mm-hmm. You can also, the therapist can also touch through the pillow, which is very useful, and the client can feel that.
Mm-hmm. For clients who can't be touched directly, this is a really useful transitional intervention, in that, as you can see, Laura, as she touches the pillow, actually indirectly massages my body, but I don't have to feel like she's directly intruding into my system. Mm-hmm. Because the pillows are soft and malleable, what we find is clients naturally start to play with them, to press into the seed, which then teaches them how to do self-massage.
Well, you'll find using this as a therapist, if you're uncomfortable with touch, it's a great way to introduce touch and also to model self-care for your client. Often you'll find that your clients will either set themselves up, if you have your pillows there warmed up in the office, or they'll also say, what can I do at home? I want to do some of this at home. How would I do that? And this helps them have a tool that they can use at home when they're doing their self-care.
So the round, actually, initially we had called it the belly pad. It's a nice, round, heavy pad. And a lot of people carry a tremendous amount of anxiety around the stomach and diaphragm, mid-belly. And this was, by the way, a lot of times we use these with the person lying down. Right. But it's like warming this pillow. It's this nice, warm pad that you can lay on that anxious place that feels sometimes like it's empty or alone or abandoned. And it's a very comforting presence.
Then I can put it on my hand, and I can put it against
my
her back, and it gives my hand a broad area of contact, and I'm not actually touching the client. I'm touching the client through the pillow, and the warmth brings that attention to the back of the body, through which we feel that experience of support.
This little heart-shaped one is actually the most popular one, and people buy it to give it as gifts a lot. The idea came from just that when we experience loss, we feel it a lot in the heart. And this little pillow was specifically designed to support a broken heart, sometimes as a transitional object when they have had any kind of loss, or that people give to each other as a reminder that they're cared for and loved.
Yeah, a celebration
Yes.
the heart connection
Yes, yes.
that you develop with your client.
Right. And so it's really quite wonderful to hold. Now, what we discovered is that this shape of the heart actually fits on the body in all kinds of wonderful ways. If you have some tension around the throat and the collarbone, you could see that the shape of it just hugs. Sometimes, Laura, you've used it this way, which is to use 2 pillows on either side and around the neck, and that's just very soothing to help the shoulders relax.
And that thoracic inlet, the top of the heart and lungs.
Yes, yes.
The other fun way is when the client is seated and their legs are on the ground, their feet are on the ground, we'll put a warm pillow underneath each foot and then drop the heart just around their ankles.
Oh,
and
I've never done that.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
no. So
yes.
What do you do? This?
Well, if you were seated,
yes.
Yeah. And I put it right here, and they're just like, oh, that feels so good. Oh, I want to do that. Yeah.
Right. And then
along the edges.
Oh, yes.
The iliotibial band, so you can feel your edges of your body.
Right.
Underneath the knees. Let's say you're partially lying, so your leg can yield into that support from under the legs.
Right. And then there's Victor's favorite.
What's that? Top of the head?
Victor's favorite is this
Oh,
one.
yes.
It's just like this, over the eyes and over the forehead.
As you're lying down. I go to bed with my pillows.
You do?
Yes,
I
do.
too.
Yeah, with the round around my neck, or the long around my neck. I have the warm on my belly, and I have my heart pillow at my sacrum. Reading my book. It's part of my sleep hygiene.
Part of your self-care.
Self-care, yeah.
Right. So did we cover?
I know.
Oh, look.
The mini!
The little mini.
The mini. So people that have are very sensitive, maybe even the weight of the pillow is too much. So we can use this right here, right around the throat where there's constrictions and not being able to speak from our heart, from our throat. If there's a little sensitivity or a lot of sensitivity, you can just, that is just enough weight to bring attention to the constriction in this area. Obviously it's the shape of an eye pillow, but we call it the mini because we've discovered other ways to use it other than just for the eyes.
Mm-hmm. But for the eyes, because there's a very light weight, when there is trauma, there's usually a tremendous amount of vigilance in the eyes, and the eyes often don't know how to relax. So this very light weight goes right on the eyeball to give it just a little pressure as a reminder to let go. And it's extremely soothing and helpful in terms of teaching the body how to let go of the visual vigilance that often accompanies trauma. And I found, like I had some surgery on my wrist, that after surgery, just that gentle weight, as you were saying, specifically on a new scar or a new, was just enough to help the body rebuild its energy field, like creating a presence that's very light, that's very steady, that allowed for the energy field to rebuild itself when there's an opening, a violation because of a surgery or something like that.
For those of us that use this in our clinical practice, is that each pillow has a pillowcase that's washable. So this can be removed and thrown into the laundry. Same thing with the long and the heart. We have 4 sizes: a long, the round, the heart, and the mini. And they're made out of very comforting fabric, and they all have a weight to them. They can be microwaved or refrigerated to be used for cool or warmth. Pillowcases that can be washed, so they're easy to take care of. They're wonderful to use in a therapeutic setting as a therapist or a body worker. They're also wonderful to use for lay people for self-care and nurturing, and they're great gifts.
They are great gifts, particularly the heart-shaped one.
Yes.